I'm Damien from Slotcar. I sound a little bit blocked up, I've got a cold, but bear with me. On the track in front of me here, I've got all of the cars currently available from Scalectric in their BTCC ranges. Now, there's two ranges. There's the classic cars, and this is made up of BMW E30 and the Ford Sierra RS 500. Now, these are cars and liveries from BTCC and some Bathurst cars as well. Over here, I've got 5 cars that are in the modern BTCC range. These are made up of the BMW 125, Honda Civic Type R and the MG6. Now coming to this range is also the Volkswagen Passat, which we haven't seen here in New Zealand yet, but these are new for Scalectric, and over the course of this year we're going to see new additions to both of these ranges, quite a few different liveries that are due to come out. My own impression of these cars is that they're great little cars to race. They're very competitive amongst each other, and they give a very good field of cars for digital as well as analog racing, but especially in digital, where you can get a whole bunch of cars that drive similarly on track, lap at the same sort of speeds, and offer really great racing. Now, so far for us here in New Zealand, these cars haven't been that popular. Maybe it's because people here aren't exposed to BTCC racing, so we're not familiar with these race cars. However, they're a perfect groups of cars for that close competitive racing that we all love, and there is already quite a few liveries available and more to come. We've become used to using GT cars in the Scalectric range and their muscle cars, the Trans Am cars, but these are quite different cars on track and really worth giving a try. The reason I'm doing this video is to try and encourage people to try these cars out on track and see what they think of them. We're going to be offering these cars with a complimentary upgrade to pull gauge tyres, and I'm also going to replace the braids and the brake plate of the cars. I'm going to put nice superfine NSR braid on them, which we find on our track here can give up to 0.2 of a second difference in lap speeds. So we're going to send these out all souped up, and they're going to be better performers than they would otherwise be out of the box, whether you're racing with magnets or without magnets. And I'm going to pick on a car, one of these, we're going to test it and see what sort of difference we get on our track with those upgrade tyres and the upgrade of the braids. So let's now just go through the cars and have a look at them all and focus on each one for a little bit, see what they're like. Let's look at the modern cars first. The two at the front here, these both come in a limited edition collector's set. We've got this eBay liveried BMW 125 and this Honda Civic Type R in this striking red and white livery. This is number 25 car. It's available on its own without being in a box set. It's this number 52 Civic Type R, and here we've got the MG6, the only MG6 so far available. No doubt we'll be seeing that in other liveries. And here we've got this other BMW 125. Now, all of the cars have similar sort of proportions, the MG6 being slightly longer, but they have the same sort of width, they're close in weight, and they're all on the same tyres. And they all have the same motor and gearing and so forth. In the classic cars, at the back here, we've got a Ford Sierra RS 500 and a BMW E30. These both come in a limited edition set together. We've got a similar mobile livery BMW E30 that's available on its own, this number 44 car, Steve Soper car. We've got Texaco, very famous livery, Eggenberger team car, which was one that I remember this livery very well from my childhood, and it's Ford Sierra as well. Another Ford Sierra. This is an Australian livery, Toys 1000, driven by Dick Johnson and John Bauer. We've got this Demon Tweaks BMW E30, and another famous livery in this part of the world, this BMW with the JPS John Player Special livery. So we've got quite a range to choose from there, and again, more liveries to come. All of the cars in the range, whether they're modern or classic, they still have the beautiful detail that we've come to know and love and expect from Scalectric. They've got clear windows, interiors, They're a tray interior, but they're still driver detail and lots to see through the window. The decals and the paint is crisp. The tyres and wheels look beautiful. Everything about them is just like I say, as we've come to expect from Scalectric. But let's have a look inside and see what we've got. I've already unscrewed the body from this one. And inside we have the standard Scalectric FC130 motor, which is an 18,000 RPM motor. It's an inline configuration, sitting just before the rear axle. And between the motor and the axle, we've got the magnet sitting down in there as well. They have tail lights and headlights fitted, and the modern and classic cars, they all have the DPR plate. So for Scalectric Digital, it's a quick job to unscrew the plate and put in the digital chip. It takes about 30 seconds to transform the analog car to a digital car. They all have the same size wheels and tyres, and it's these tyres that we're going to change out shortly. So first off, let's get a few laps in. This is just straight out of the box. Haven't touched the car. Right, a bit of a crash there. Try that again, shall we? So straight away, it's a nice smooth and it's an easy driving car. This is a mild driving car. So I would say this is a very good car for beginners, even for kids, because it is very, very mild. And I'm finding that a lot with the modern Scalectric cars that are in inline configuration. They are easy driving. That was a 6.874 lap. It's not a super fast lap for a magnet car, but I can tell from driving it that the magnet in it is quite a mild magnet, and that's something that I like. A lot of the modern Scalectric cars have got a thinner magnet than a lot of the older cars. For me, that's a big plus. With a magnet that's very powerful, your crashes tend to be very large, and you can go around a lot of corners just about full throttle. So there's not much of a challenge in it. Whereas with this milder magnet, it's certainly a lot more fun to drive. Well, I've done a bunch of laps now. The best time was the time we saw earlier, 6.874 seconds, but most of them have been in that upper 6 seconds, almost 7 seconds range. Like I said, it's a very mild car. I really like this light magnet. It means you actually have to drive the car, and the trouble I have with the powerful magnets is that one car always has a very strong magnet and that car usually wins. If you can't push the car at full throttle through most of your corners, you're not going to have one car that's going to always get that advantage. And the winner of the race is going to be the person who drives the car better. Given that most of the cars are equal. Really neat little car to drive. What I'm going to do now though, I'm going to take those standard tyres off, we'll put the pull gauge tyres on, and we'll just see what the difference is. Here's the car with the pull gauge tyres fitted. The old tyres simply peel off, the new ones go on. Now these haven't been glued or trued, they've just been stuck on. Let's do a few laps, check the times. Okay, let's reset the timer. Completely standard, apart from the pull gauge tyres. .429, okay, and I haven't really got used to the car yet, I'm still taking it easy. I'm going to do about 10 laps and we'll see what we get it down to. But I can instantly feel the difference in grip. As you can see here, I've taken the magnet out of the car. I've also put the stand tyres back on the rear of the car. So we'll try it with the standard rubber, see how we go. Remember, these tyres haven't been glued and trued like I normally would. Just out of the box, Not a lot of grip. The car's still quite predictable and easy to drive, funnily enough. Quite good fun to drive. Right, I'll reset the timer. Let's get a lap time out of this. Nine 6:05. Not getting a good lap. What I might do is quickly sand the tyres just a little bit and see if we can get a little bit more grip so we make it a fair test. Normally I do this on a machine, glue the tyres on, true them on the machine so I know they're perfectly true. But for this wee project, we'll just give them a quick true here. That's better. Eight 916. Maybe better than that. 8646. Eight 517. Right, so 8.310 was the best of those laps. Just to refresh your memories, standard tyres, magnet out. Now it's time for the urethanes. The pull gauge tyres, we'll fit those up, see if we make any substantial difference. That's one. I know the standard tyres with proper gluing and truing could be better, but by the same token, we're not doing that with these pull gauge tyres either. We're just slapping them on. Alright, 8.310 to beat. Almost feels like I've got the magnet back up. 7596. 7596, straight out the gate. So substantial difference. Do another couple of laps. See if we can improve it even more. I do like this car though. Seven 521. 7.5 seconds exactly. Well, that was successful. Now let's swap out the braid plate. See how we go. I'm just going to take the old braid plate off. If you haven't done this before, they just push forwards and pull out and remove. Now, these are the original Scalectric braids. We'll get rid of those. The way Scalectric do it, the braid at the back, they have tucked towards the front. We're not going to do it that way. We're going to do it slightly differently. Let me just get some braid here. This is the NSR braid, and this is very, very thin. Much thinner than the Scalectric braid, and it just gets the car that little bit deeper in the slot. Now, it might not seem like a lot, but if you imagine, lost it down the slot. If you imagine on a real car, this is 1/32 scale, so on a real car it'd be 32 times the difference. So if we get half a mil deeper in the slot, that'd be like 16 millimeters on a real car. You lower the nose of a race car 16 millimeters, it's going to have an effect. So that pushes on. The back piece goes towards the back, the front piece also. So they just sit down nicely like that. Do the other side as well. It's a pretty quick and easy thing to do, but this, rather than using the normal Scalectric braid plates that you can buy in a pack, you can buy this braid wire and do it yourself, and it does make a difference, and I'm expecting that we're going to see that in a minute. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to do it with a magnet in, but I'm going to do it with a magnet out, and I'm going to do it with the original tyres, the rubber tyres first. Actually, you know what, I won't do it with rubber tyres because we're sending these cars out with urethane tyres and the braid, so let's just do it with these urethane tyres as they are and see how the car performs. Exactly how we'll be sending them out during the time that we run this promotion. Let's see how quick it is. Hopefully we won't do that again, but these things happen. So we won't edit out all the crashes. Seven 422. I've done quite a few laps now. I've been really enjoying it. The car is predictable and easy to drive. It's smooth, it's quiet, and I'm getting really consistent lap times. The best time, as it is now, with the pull gauge tyres and the NSR braids, is 7.410 seconds. But most of the lap times I'm doing now are in the 7.4s, and they're very consistent. There's two simple modifications that transformed this car. Here they all are. The classics, the moderns, the BMWs versus the Fords, and here the Hondas, the BMWs, the MG, soon to be coming the Volkswagen. These are going to be great ranges of cars to get into. And here, right now, all of the liveries so far produced are still available. There's more to come, and no doubt in future years Scalectric will produce more liveries in these bodies, maybe even more body styles. But they really are fantastic fun cars to race. I have tried them on digital. They make fantastic competitors against each other in digital also. Our promotion, offering them with complimentary pull gauge tyres and the NSR braids, as you can see, makes a difference to how they perform. Let's just recap the numbers now. So the standard car, straight out of the box, 6.874 seconds. When we took those rubber tyres off and we put the pull gauge tyres on the back, we got down to 6.242 seconds. So big difference there. For the magless car, 8.31 with the standard rubber, 7.5 with the pull gauge tyres, got it down to 7.41 when we changed the brake plate. So we've made a good performance increase with just those two simple modifications. The promotion that we're running, I'm not sure how long it'll go for. It might depend how popular it is, but we hope to carry it on for some time. You've got no excuse to get into these great cars now. I hope you enjoy them as much as I do. Thank you very much for watching.